Hello, 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 hello. Let me know if you can hear me. I'll be happy to know if you can hear me. Welcome, 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 welcome. Um, Maybe I should find a way to let some of the questions they will be asking to pop up. Welcome, everyone. I'm happy to see you here. Um, I look forward to a fruitful session. Yes, invite your friends. We're going to have a discussion today. You are going to drive the conversation. Um, I'm giving myself about 30 to 45 minutes. Depending on how successful this will be, I could make other sessions, create other sessions so that can continue the conversation if you're unable to exhaust everything today. I'm also considering um, instances where I will invite some HODs, depending on the number of you who form part of this. Those of you in School of Physical Mathematical Sciences, I could reach out to the HODs, some of the lecturers, invite them on some of these live sessions, and then let them answer your questions. But in the meantime, it's our first time, it's our first session, so um, do well to share the link with someone. The person doesn't have to be a student of this university. I matriculated in Kenya University. I did a full year. I've also been to UDS. So I have a bit of student experience across these three major universities. So I have a lot to share with you as your course advisor. So let's give ourselves a couple of minutes. Make sure you invite somebody. Invite somebody. Let me know which program you are reading. If you are in mathematical science, if you are in allied health sciences, specifically, whatever program you are admitted into, let me know. If you are in UG, you can add UOG to it so that I know you are here. If you're not part of UG, someone invited you to join this stream too, you can also let me know as well. Yes. I don't have any background music, so that is just us. Bear with me on the silence in the space. Yes. Right. I would love to see at least 100 people here so that we can hit the ground running. UG, okay, Samuel Johnson. Nice to see you here. Okay, mathematical sciences, medical laboratory. Nice. Happy to see you here also. Okay, mathematical science UG. Okay, keep them coming in. Okay, the mathematical sciences are many. One IT student in UG. Okay, great. This makes it more easy for me to direct particular information to some of you as it pertains to you. I'm going to give a general information to you. I may be a bit biased to computer science and of course to SPMS, but generally this is going to go to you all as university students, freshmen. So this session is just for freshmen. You should have lots of questions for me. Lots of questions. I've encountered so many of you coming into my office time and again. So prepare your questions. We'll bring them all on board. Ready all your questions. Ready them. A couple more minutes. Let's see if we can get some more people to join us. I don't mind. The numbers there is still worth engaging. So let's give ourselves a few minutes and see. How many more? Okay, mathematical science. Okay, I see you, Kelly Royce, Daniel AJ. We don't have any females joining us. Oh, I'm failing to see any names. I don't know. They are all males joining us. Why are female colleagues? Invite them also. Let's bring everybody on board, shall we? Let's try and bring everybody on board. Let's try and bring everybody on board. Okay. Let's bring everybody on board. Okay. They went to their Kwame Jesse. Are you sure you have facts to support this? Are you sure you have facts to support this? Let's not commit ourselves to something we cannot defend. That would be very dangerous on our part. Okay. The ladies. Oh, Jesus. Don't do that. Okay, how many people do we have here? Okay, 25. Okay, let's give ourselves just 4 more minutes and then we'll hit the ground running. Please. Just 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes and then we are good to go. Four more minutes. Okay. Great. Okay, now I can see your post. If somebody presents a question, I will know how to display it for everyone to see. That's good to know. Okay, right. 3 more minutes. I'm more anxious than you are. Let's see if we can get a few more people to join us and then we will go. Okay, ITUG, mathematical science. Okay, I have only University of Ghana students here. That is fine. That is equally fine. Today I'm reaching you from my office. The last time I was in our networking lab. I mean, they are all well and good. We should be able to access any of the spaces and record. I think during the COVID, there were some lecture recordings I even did in my church control room. You know, we make use of every space that we find. It was quite fun. Okay, so I'm sure you know the purpose of this meeting. I'm calling it a town hall meeting because it's the platform we're going to discuss issues pertaining to your students' life, your academics, etc. You have your say. You're going to drive the conversation. So I'm just more or less going to be a referee in here, but not a referee who really whistles, but the referee who can share ideas with you and help you navigate around your stay within the university environment. So why don't you go ahead? If you have been harboring some questions over the period, it's been how many weeks? We are in the 10th week so far. 10th week as far as teaching began. But I think the first 1 month lectures were halted. We were on strike. Faculty was on strike. So nothing really did happen. But that has been a good journey so far. So if you have any questions, any constraints, let's begin with that. Just type them right there in the comment section and I'll address them. Of course, I'll make my initial comments and then the submissions. If you have any questions, you should go ahead and let me know. Please make use of the chat section. It's very, very important to me. You are driving this particular conversation. So lend me your ears, pay attention, and get all your questions answered. Great. All right. So a brief about my position. Most of you, considering the fact that all of you here are students that I have taught Yes, mathematical science, medical laboratory. Having indicated which programs you belong to, at least I know you sat in my class before. Um, so I'm no new person to you. The name is Atta Mensah, and I've been a faculty. In fact, I've been in this university since 2014. Um, I was a graduate assistant till 2017, thereabout, 2016, 2017. And then I moved on into the corporate world for a couple of years. It was really good. Um, but this is where my passion has always been. So in 2019, I took a firm decision at the beginning of the year, and I returned back into the academia, and I'm here full time. I'm an assistant lecturer with the University of Ghana, Department of Computer Science, and still 2 years in my PhD program. I teach you, but I'm also a student. Interesting, isn't it? But like I said, I'm more driven by passion for students like you. And it's no mistake that I was assigned a course advisor to the of course, I was nominated by my department to the School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, and so my responsibility is to level hundreds in the School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences. Typically, we would divide the students into groups, and then I'll be assigned a number of them, and then other colleagues from other departments like math, statistics, everybody will have a selected number of students because of the student population. This year we are having about 800 of you, 800 students alone in the School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences. Unfortunately, due to workload, we've not been able to implement the divisions, and so students really do not know who to go to. Yes, we've had orientations, but it doesn't feel like one-on-one. Getting somebody to really speak to appreciate maybe your constraints, to help you navigate through this university environment, and of course achieve your academic goals. And that's actually paramount. I'm not sure anybody came in here to just pass through and then graduate and leave the space, but to make an impact, be impacted upon, and also get out of this university and impact the society into which you are going to get into, and of course make some money for your pockets, and of course enjoy some of your benefits as well. So I'm pretty sure everybody falls in line in some of these aspirations. But like I said, you all have so many questions, quite a number of you, and I'm expecting you to bring them on board. I indicated my primary role in the message that I sent to most of you, since you are primarily from my previous class, my current class. I clearly indicated to you the purpose of this particular meeting. So as I indicated, you can refer to me as a course advisor, aside my lecturing role, course advisor or an academic advisor. Either way, that is fine. They all work together. Okay, so our responsibility is to guide you, assist you with your admission processes, your course registration, your program planning, your degree completion, even scholarship opportunities. And I've had instances of sharing this kind of information with different categories of your colleagues who have consulted me for whichever reason they got to know that I was a course advisor. It's our responsibility to provide you with information about your degrees, the courses, the university policies, everything that has to do with resolving your academic and personal issues. Anything that may hurt your grades is supposed to be our concern, even if it is your personal matter, And so if you have observed, usually as I teach you, once in a while I pass some few comments trying to advise you to dissociate from certain habits and attitudes that do not augur well for you as a student and could compromise on your academic achievement and expectations. Our responsibility is free of charge. Yours is to identify a course advisor. Not all lecturers are course advisors or assigned that particular role or mandated by the office of the registrar, just a selected number of people. And you would need to contact the department administration to inquire about them. It is your responsibility. In fact, you have a right to a course advisor, and no department is supposed to deny you that. You might not know that one person or the other is a course advisor, but they are existing and they have a responsibility to you. Like I said, in this particular school, we had a bit of a delay with events and workload, etc. But hopefully, I'm sure before the beginning of next semester, which is just in a few weeks from now, that issue will be resolved and you know who to visit or engage. Nevertheless, my office, my door is always open to as many of you as possible as may want to come in, and I'll be happy to engage you. I mean, I've met students, I've advised students virtually over a virtual session, not even like this, privately, say Zoom one-on-one, and we have addressed issues, private matters to help them survive and navigate around this institution. And so that's the very extent some of us will take our work to. So feel free. So on that note, I will give you the opportunity to put your questions together. Yes, I am seeing some of them. Okay, so we have quite a number of questions. I'll come to them one after the other. Maybe it'll be of interest to some of you who have joined us. I need to put some information across. This is uncut. This is the raw me engaging with you like I would have done if you had walked into my office. So there is no outline, there's no organized thing. I want us to have a friendly conversation, a friendly chat. There is something I've observed over the period, that there's been quite a drastic change in the approach of teaching and learning in the senior high school pertaining to this country. So if you are a student of University of Ghana and probably you schooled abroad, or you went to one of these IB schools and you didn't go through the WASI curriculum, you may have a different experience or exposure. I'm making reference to the majority of our students who went through the system here in Ghana. So, the students who usually make the grades, and you can testify to this, you probably have solved past questions from 1990, even years before you were even born, up to the present year. When it was still SSCE, you solved even the questions when it was even what name do they call it? A-level, O-level, etc. Yeah, you solved all of these questions when it comes to maths, English, etc. Especially where you have your weakest, you're at your weakest point, and so you can solve questions easily. You have memorized processes, patterns, and procedures, but you really do not understand, for example, when we say what's the determinant of a matrix, how this literally applies, you may not be able to tell. I'm coming from this angle because just about a week ago, some of my teaching assistants were applying for some master's opportunity abroad. And that is what I typically do when you work closely with me. You don't nominate yourself as my teaching assistant. Typically, in my case, I find you when I feel you can compliment me. And they went for this interview, and some of the questions they were asked, if it's an oral interview, it's not an exam that you literally prepare for. Oral interview, and they want to really appreciate your understanding of the maths that you have studied. So you understand, for example, determinant of a matrix. What does that literally means? Let me tell you what. One of the candidates was able to take a problem and solve it by way of coding, and he found the value of the determinant of a matrix. Now the interviewers went further to ask, so what does this answer you've gotten mean? And he found himself wanting. That is the problem that we have here. We can put 1, 2 plus 1 together, and we are. Some of you even know that 4 times 6, for example, results in a particular value. 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 9. Then you put the number there. But if we should ask you, what does that literally translate into? That means that if I say 2 times 4, that is the summation of 4 sets, 2 sets of 4. If I say 2 times 6, that is 2 sets in 6 times added together, resulting into 12. So 6, 6, 6. 2 times 6, so 2, 6 resulting into 12. So 2 times 6 is 12. But you have memorized them. You just 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 6, 12. This has become the routine. And so there is a big gap between the A student from the senior high school and then that same A student surviving, particularly in this environment of university. It's quite sad though, because during some of us our time, which was not too long ago, just somewhere 2004 when I graduated from SHS. It's not too long ago, is it? I don't think so. Um, we had a different experience. I think I even got to appreciate why pi was 22/7 all the way back in JHS. And I went to government school my entire life, but that is not the story today. And so most students come to this department and of course this school or into mathematical science. And one of the courses they are afraid of mostly is maths, because you don't get to chew and pour, as we call it, but you don't get to cram and pour. If you follow the pattern and understand that this is how the procedure follows, they may change the values and other things and they expect you to apply wisdom to it, and then you find yourself wanting. The point I'm trying to drum home here is this: in the university, we are trying to groom you, make you problem solvers. This is very fundamental to our core mandate as your lecturers, to make you problem solvers. And I think that is one of the main reasons why most of my students have issues with me. We want you to become problem solvers. We want to equip you with skill set. We want you to be able to think deep and be able to get out there and solve the problems we have in the society. So if we teach you 1 plus 1 and you get out there and the world says 3 plus 4, you understand that I need to put the sum of 3 to 4 and then, appreciate the results and do something with it. Most of you, in my opinion, from my experience over the years, it has become quite evident that transition, some of us are not really psyched up for it. We are not properly psyched up for it yet. Because then if you are transitioning from SHS and chew and pour, cram helped you make the A's and you got into the university, you don't deceive yourself that you are an excellent student. You need to set your butt down, try to appreciate the concepts that are being taught. I'm not sure anybody even ever asked, the time during when my TAs were in that math class, I don't think anybody even ever asked the lecturer, so say, this determinant, this vector, this geometry, you are teaching us, how does this apply to real world problems? Can you give us a typical scenario of an expression, of a case study where this is applying, so that we can appreciate this? We don't even ask some of these questions. You don't put some of your lecturers on their toes, because they know and they would gladly share it with you, but we may not be at the same level of understanding. I may be talking about one thing and you don't even know what I'm talking about, but as far as I'm concerned, I know exactly what I'm implying, what I'm doing. And may have a handful of students out of about 800 students in the class who are getting it. So what happens to the majority? How would we even know? So you really need to help yourself if you are in this particular position. It is normal. It's not your fault the situation turned out that way, because then if they also don't go through that means you are not going to make the grades, your parents are going to get worried. But at this level, the university referred to you as junior members. Lecturers are referred to as senior members. We are more or less colleagues. I only have a responsibility to share my knowledge with you to help you become a better version of yourself. And so you are an independent learner. Okay, so my first case here is to draw your attention to that transition. Some of you have yet to come to terms with this particular transition, and unfortunately exams are barely weeks away. You really need to spend the extra time. Some people want to just pass through some top courses and then just do away with them and not get into them anymore, because they use the word stressful. It's stressing us. That is because you have not come to terms with the right approach to learning and understanding these topics, and so the lecturers have become your enemies practically. But I hope with this advice you're going to do something about it. Okay, let me take some of your questions first before I proceed to add my next point. Okay, so somebody is asking about grades in DCIT courses and how You didn't, he doesn't, so what? Please say, okay, let me see what he's literally saying. I'm sure you can all see his question right there. He's saying, please sir, I want to ask if you make the grades. Which grades? The DCIT courses, however, you didn't perform so well in your maths courses. You still, the question was not complete, was it? Okay, you still will be giving, okay, it's not your fault. I think I have made it such that some of the text is missing. Let me see if I can. Oh, that still didn't change it. Okay, I guess that's how it's going to be. Okay, let me just reduce the font a bit. All right. Okay, so his question is, please sir, I want to ask if you don't make the grades in DCIT courses, however, you did not perform so well in maths courses, will you still be giving the course in computer science at level 200? Okay. All right, I'll be addressing these questions soon. I think that will be the last on my list. So hang on to that. I'll put that together with other things. Can you please extend the deadline for reports? Okay, because you are my student, you are bringing this one here. I think I gave you that report 3 weeks ago. Yes, 3 weeks ago. It was the Easter Sunday I sent you this email. So you gather your thoughts and your ideas. The video I recorded, the live session we had last week, was supposed to be a guide as to how you go about this. So I'm unable to extend. I typically do not give student assessment beyond teaching week. You know, teaching ends on May 6th. The following week is yours to prepare for your exams. I don't know why I should still engage you and have you thinking about my course when you probably have to be preparing for your exams. So bear with me on that one. What does it take to... Anyway, it looks like you have your personal questions. I wish there were general ones before I would narrow down to the various department ones, because I'm pretty sure there are several others who are also here and may be interested in other things. So I'll address all these questions one after the other. If I see any general question, I'll be happy to push it out there, because I want to address those ones first. Now, another thing you guys need to know is this, about the university body, the university life. If you don't become a victim of a problem, if you don't become a cop, you have a victim or a culprit. I don't know what choice of word will best fit for this one. But the point I'm trying to drive home here is, you become a victim of a problem pertaining to academics or the university rules. Until then, you wouldn't know that the university really did have rules. Let me show you something. Okay, so I have this book here. University of Ghana Handbook for Bachelor's Degree and Course Description for Programs in the Sciences. So this is for the students in the Sciences. I think this one is outdated or is current. Yeah, I think it's quite outdated. I'm not sure. It's dated 2017, but that is for Sciences. I mean, it looks quite voluminous. Students may not be too excited or interested in reading, but you don't have to read everything in there. You have a choice to in fact, you don't even have a choice. You have to focus on portions that matters and pertains to you. This handbook literally shows you the nature of your programs, the descriptions, and what their intentions really are. Then kind of courses you are supposed to be doing within each semester, the credit hours associated with them, and so on and so forth. Now, if you don't have access to this, you equally have an opportunity to access this same document some way, somehow, from the university's website. Maybe I could show that also to you. Where do I have this? Okay, so if you go to the university's website, something like this, at this point you don't see my face, you only see what I'm showing. ug.edu.gh. Let me try and make some other things big enough. When you go to academics, you have student handbook right down here. Most of you have not downloaded this material. So we have for College of Humanities, we have for College of Education, we have for College of Health Sciences, and we have for College of Basic and Applied Sciences. Whichever one it is, when you click on it, you have the handbook available to you. And then we have the University Regulations Handbook. Now, these are very, very important documents. If you can't have access to this book, they have soft copies of these. Students don't pay attention to this. Of course, quite frankly, I must admit, if you're a very diligent student, very studious, and you want to stick to your books and do the needful, attend to why you came to this university, you pretty much may not have any need to go and read some of these things, because the grades will be complementing themselves. They will just be added on. But until you become a victim, you do not know. What happens if I have an emergency and I can't complete a semester? What are the processes in deferment? What are my rights even as a student? Am I only here to enjoy and entertain myself? I'm here to study. If I need some information, where do I go to? Should I engage my senior colleague in level 200, 300, 400, 500? What are the maximum credit hours I'm supposed to take? Am I reading the same program as my predecessors, or I'm on a different curriculum? There are a lot of things we could discuss and share here, but time will not permit us. But what I'm trying to point out for you to take note of here is this. The university has provided every information you need. The university has covered and absorbed itself from any legal challenges that may result from the student's angle. The moment you accepted that's why they always want you to submit an acceptance letter. The moment you indicated your acceptance of enrollment, you surrounded your entire, you surrounded your entire self to the rules and regulations of the university. And so if you have submitted yourself entirely to somebody's rules and regulations, you have every right to acquaint yourself with what entails in that particular document. You should know the book has been revised not too long ago. I'm not sure we have a content page. Do we? I'm not sure University of Ghana has a content page. Maybe they have to improve on that. Just about 58 pages. Who has what institute? Well, some of them might have received some few updates because just recently there were new appointments. But it covers every department, every school, every college, everything that you need to know. When it has to do with even grade points, first class, what the GPA translates into, what we refer to as FGPA. You don't, if you read this document and for one reason or the other, something doesn't make sense to you, okay, and you need clarity from your course advisor, or you walk up to me, we can sit down and break these things down. How do we calculate GPA so that you can project your performance, especially if you are like me, you really need to work hard and target some particular grade point, some expectations, some ambitions. Then the maths is still not being clear to you, which of course I expect you to make reason out of it, but no problem. You know, they took time to take you through some of these things during the virtual orientation, but maybe because of the nature in which this was presented, it didn't go so down well with you. That is why we have course advisors. We can book one-on-one session with you and, you know, delve a bit deeper into some of this kind of conversation. But what I'm trying to drum home here is this: get to know the rules. You have absolutely no excuse or whatsoever to say that you did not know. The moment you become a victim of the system, trust me, there is no pardon. The rules will be followed to the latter, and you will not be happy about it. If your intention is to make a first class, it has to begin from first year, first semester. Some departments, like in our school, you have to meet certain criteria before you can get into your major programs, especially those of you in mathematical sciences. And of course, we'll be biased a bit to that point because the majority of you there who have expressed interest in some questions pertaining to that one. So we're going to get to that one soon. Like I said, we may not be able to exhaust everything right now, but your questions will form the conversation that we'll be having. So there will definitely be a part 2 session of this, And so I'm going to definitely take into consideration all your questions that have come out here. Great, great. Some people have gone through the handbook. I'm happy to hear this. That's good to know. Yes. Please keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Somebody said we are doing a great job. We are doing our best. We'll do as much as we possibly can. We'll not let it get into our heads. Okay, so let me now take some of the questions. Maybe I should do that. Okay, let me take some of the questions that have come and I'll address those ones, and then we can call it a day for today. But if you have any questions, please make sure you leave it in the chat section. If I'm not able to exhaust all of them, trust me, we shall have this session repeat on a day that we may all agree. That is why I need as many of you to subscribe to this channel. If I don't reach 1,000, I can't post. I can't make posts like images, to conduct polls and take your views and stuff like that. So, because I'm not going to be directly engaging with all of you, probably some of you, but this is going to be driven by you students. I have no passion for my colleagues or anything, just you. So I become better versions of. Maybe one of these days I will have a live session and explain to you my dreaming motivation that made me leave a 15,000 Ghana cedi net job salary. It was my net 15,000 Ghana cedis. I left that job to come and sit in the classroom. I'm not even getting. If you divide it by 3, that's why we went on strike anyways. So why would I leave that job and come and sit here? Maybe one of these days I'll explain that to you. Yeah, it's a sacrifice we've made for you. Okay, so let me begin with whose question is here. Okay, so I'm going to be a bit biased right now because of the questions that have come here. Wow, the questions are coming in so fast and quick. I'm unable to keep up. Let me try. Okay, so let me go 37 minutes ago. Okay, so this page, there was literally no question. Let me go to the next page here. Okay, I don't want to skip anybody's question. All right, I think the questions began from here. Somebody said, "Sir, thank you for the opportunity. You are most welcome, Ernest." Let me go up. Please say, I want to ask. Yes. So this is the guy who was asking about this question. So his question is, "Sir, if you don't do well in your math courses, will you still be giving computer science courses?" Okay, right. So let me address this. If you are student in mathematical sciences, admitted into mathematical sciences, you will recall that your the second bullet on your admission letter indicated that based on your performance, you'll be branching into your major program as in statistics, computer science, etc. There were about 4 or 5 courses that were mentioned right there. Most of you have already gone ahead to inform your friends, your relations. "I'm a computer science student." "Oh, where are you studying?" "I'm University of Ghana." "What program?" "Computer science." Yet on your admission letter is mathematical science. I don't want to burst your bubble. There are conditions and requirements to get into these specialities. Maybe I'll find another session and discuss this extensively. But the point I want to drive home here, you can take the word from me, because I play a very instrumental role in this placement. As far as computer science is concerned, we require of you to make a minimum, and I'm repeating, a minimum B+ in our DCIT courses, as long as you stay a mathematical science student. So you have a core course, Introduction to Fundamentals of Programming, Introduction to Computing, DCIT 101. And then you have an elective course, DCIT 103, which is my course, Office Productivity Tools. Now, these are very fundamental courses we expect you to ace. If you can't ace them, you just make a minimum B+. Now, that would secure your qualification into computer science by default. Of course, it's not just the first semester courses. You have 2 more to complete in second semester. I think Fundamentals of Programming and then Hardware Fundamentals, DCIT 102 and DCIT 104. These are required. If you make a minimum B+, I can assure you, you have automatic entry into computer science. Our statistics over the years have shown that any student who has made an A or a B+ minimum in these any of these 4 courses, in fact, if that is the minimum for that student, these students have fairly aced the mathematics courses by default. In fact, we've had instances some people have aced it, but they don't want to enter into pure computer science. They wanted, half of stuff like that. So that is my response to you. Ace them. If you can really ace our courses, you definitely ace the maths courses, and you have nothing to worry about. That will grant you an automatic entry. However, if you don't make the cut, you leave your right, you relinquish your right to the application we have developed to implement the placement, and we can only accommodate just a handful of people. If we get 500 students all acing it, A or minimum B plus, we'll have no choice but to admit all of them. But that hasn't been the story. So we are always working with the cap and the limited number of students we can take and the limited resources we have at our disposal. So you really have to do well enough to make it. So yeah, if you do well in the DCIT courses, surely I'm positive you make the grades in the math courses and you should be fine. So I think I'll leave that question there. If you are not satisfied with the response, please don't hesitate to let me know. All right, let me move on to the next person. Can you please extend the report? I think I've answered this one already. What does it take mathematical science to compete? Okay, so I've answered this question in the process. Without DCIT in level 100, can you do... Okay, so let me put this question also out there. Maybe somebody may be interested. It says, without DCIT 103 in level 100, can you do computer science level 200 if you do well in all other courses? That would be quite tricky. If you want to do computer science, we advised you from the beginning to take our courses. We can't leave any out. I mean, those of you who have taken office productivity tools have seen the usefulness of this course already. How do you miss it? How do you miss it? There are tons of reports you put together. There's tons of research you conduct. We don't want you to depend on your friends. We want you to be independent. So right from the onset, we expected you to take the course. So I am sorry, I cannot guarantee you a position, but depending on your performance, if you can ace all the others, there could be some concession made for you, but I'm not making any promises. When we get to that bridge, we'll definitely cross it. Is that okay? Right. So which area in computer science is statistical proving to be worth specializing? Oh, I'm happy to answer this question, gentlemen. Really, there is a lot happening in today's day and age as far as artificial intelligence and machine learning is concerned. At the core of artificial intelligence and machine learning is statistical models. Statistical models. And so, to be frank, students who study statistics with computer science, most of them are students who have not gotten the chance to get into pure computer science or pure IT, and they feel like they have been disadvantaged. But guess what? They are in a better position to excel in artificial intelligence and machine learning, for that matter, than even computer science students, because they get the opportunity to study these statistics, regression analysis, all these forms of modeling. In fact, I envy them so much. It is key. If you have heard of artificial intelligence playing any role anywhere, which has penetrated every discipline in today's day and age, those who are succeeding in there are those whose statistics concepts are very solid and strong. Trust me, they are so good at it. They have an upper hand than the computer science people. I can assure you of that. So yeah, that is my response to that one. Please, sir, can you upload this on YouTube so that it can be accessed? Of course, this video is going to be left public. You can play back anytime later on. So yeah. Somebody is asking a very good question here also. Please, how do we know the courses we are supposed to choose in each semester through all years in UG pertaining to course we do? So that is where the handbook comes in, or you can go to the university's website and go to your various departments and get the information. Now, my best advice in response to this question is this: walk to the department office of your department, the administration of your department, the administration office of your department, and request for a soft copy or list of courses. You come to computer science here, we have listed your courses for every semester on the notice board so that it becomes easy for you to pick them. You can also walk to your course advisor and discuss with him or her your choices of courses, and they should be happy to help you. If my department, if some of my colleagues have less information, they are happy to contact me, and I'll easily pass on the relevant information for them to pass it on to their students. So please take notice of that. Okay. Somebody's asking, what does it take to be a good computer scientist? If you can sit on your butt, sorry for my choice of words, and then try your best to comprehend the fundamentals of programming and to try your hands on new technologies every day. It takes a lot of work from us. We can sit down for hours just to debug one line of code with some comma be missing somewhere. But that is the passion. That is the passion. If you can't sit and you are the kind of person who always has to get up, be hanging out with friends, be chatting, you cannot be a computer scientist and be moving around. You are not really intrigued. The fact that you can control your TV remote in the home without reading manual, or you can fidget with your computer and play computer games and help somebody fix a printer, does not make you a computer good at all. No. You should be somebody who is a deep thinker, who is able to be interested in what makes the things we see behave the way they do. How can I also do those things? Because there's a lot of thinking that goes in there. There's a lot of maths that goes in there. There's a lot of modules and arithmetic that goes in there to make them what they are. You learn the programming language just to learn a syntax. It's like I'm an account person trying to learn chi or gan. You know, I mean, account person trying to learn gan or ever or something. That is learning programming language. But the real deal is the programming concept, what actually is going on in there, your data structures, your algorithms. That requires a lot of deep thinking. And that is actually what these big companies are looking out for. If you want to work with Google, if you want to work with YouTube, etc., they don't even care about what programming language you use. They are interested in your ability to solve data structures, algorithms, you know, and your mathematics concept, discrete maths stuff. So that is the most important thing. So your programming should be food you eat. You shouldn't even be thinking of what line to write. And that is what we are trying to psych you up. Because if you miss that experience in level 100, you are going to struggle the rest of the years. You're going to be playing the catch up. And we can't teach you everything in the lecture room. So the computer scientist is the one who goes the extra mile, who behaves like Mark Zuckerberg and then the Bill Gates, who be just about level 200, level 300. They realize that, oh, okay, so this is the whole concept. I'm wasting time in school. Let me go apply this knowledge and come up with something innovative. That is what we are talking about here. I have several level 100s and 200s who were doing great things before they crossed level 200. I have had the privilege to take some abroad on trips because of their excellence in certain things. We involve them in projects. Some of them are going to make Facebook better this vacation to go and do internship, and they've not even graduated yet. They stand out among the rest, but this is the same message we pass across. Those students behind the scenes have gone the extra mile. If you want to be a computer scientist, you have to eat, drink, breathe the computer. I'm sorry, but that's the only way around it. Yes, some people may grab the skills and the intuition really fast. Some of us may have to spend more hours. But imagine somebody who is so much involved in it, and he's smart also, but yet he's still spending the hours and he's putting in the hours, and yet you who have to spend hours and hours to even comprehend some few basic math principles, and you can't even sit for 2-3 hours. The least thing, you are distracted. You have to hang around with friends, girls, chill, etc. I mean, if you are now learning it, that's not the time. Right. For me, like this, okay, so let me go to the next one. For me, like this, I made a colleague senior help me select the course in mathematics science. Yes, I would advise you, you know, this attitude has its own repercussions. Like I said, once again, come to the department administration office, inquire about the programs you are supposed to take. If the administration can help you, they will communicate this to a faculty who can assist you to make these choices. Please be careful. If you are in computer science department, for example, level 100s to 300s are taking a different course curriculum, different course structure. Level 400s are in a different curriculum entirely. So they can't entirely advise you on what courses to choose and what not, because they have no knowledge about what you are doing. Okay, so please ask the right source. Sir, please, if you are physical science, then can you major in computer science? No, if you take our DCIT courses and you excel in them and you are in physical science, you can minor or combine physics and then computer science, but you cannot major in computer science. I'm sorry. Say, I want to major in computer science. What happens if I don't make the grades this year? Very important question. What happens if I don't make the grades this year? You may not get major computer science, depending on your performance. But why would you make the grades? That is your passion. So, how many years do you want to spend? I recall last year when I had a guy from Google to mentor my students, and somebody was asking the guy, does typing speed also matter during interviews? The guy laughed. I mean, he laughed. If you need 2 years to improve on your acquaintance with the computer, you probably have to do that before you enroll into the university. You don't come here first before you want us to wait for you. So if you don't make the grades, I'm sorry we will not get in, but we could do some workarounds, maybe minor or something. But we will look at your performance generally across all your courses and recommend the best for you. So you may as well want to fail everything and be withdrawn than to fail computer and not get in, and also not get into another department either. So that would be my response to that one. So sometimes the lecturers feel we are asking silly questions, so they don't mind people when they ask. Okay, I'm guessing this is in direction to the question I asked earlier, with regards to how these questions apply realistically. Maybe the lecturers may have a lot on their minds. I mean, we went on strike just recently. It may not be intentional. Certain circumstances may prevail. It may compromise our professionalism, but bear with us, okay? That is why most of the time we have teaching assistants. Don't hesitate to indulge them privately. Try and identify the teaching assistants to every course and let them give you some, elaborated explanation. Some of these things, they are happy to help. I can at least vouch for the teaching assistants who are working with me in my course. Okay, so I'm sorry you have been experiencing that at some point in time. So what's the difference between computer science and engineering? Engineering is how do I explain this for you? Okay, engineering, computer science and computer engineering. Computer engineering is a component within computer science. Fundamentally, computer engineering focuses on the makeup of the computing hardware in diverse ways, in diverse forms. I only hope I'm speaking English. What goes into the Intel processor, what goes into the Mac processor, etc. Making all of these things come to play. The sciences are more of the software that sits on top. We have some similar programs within this department, but when you get into computer science here, we are more practically oriented in terms of the applications that will thrive on the operating systems and utilize these hardwares that are supposed to be engineered and fabricated by our counterparts in the computer engineering department. Unfortunately, we are quite handicapped when it comes to engineering in terms of resources, in terms of competing with our counterparts in other spaces. So this is in the context of computer science and computer engineering, not just engineering and sciences. I'm speaking in that context. Okay, so in my software engineering class, for example, my students would engage with clients. There's an entire pipeline for software engineering. They will have to follow through from start to finish and then make sure they deliver on this solution to their clients within the period that has been stipulated. There's a lot that goes in there. Such practical experience may not be given to my counterparts in computer engineering. It may be just a lecture room theory, etc., but that may not be the story from our end. So if you want my opinion, this is my personal opinion. You may want to do more of the computer science if you have the chance than the engineering in Ghana. Okay, so I'll move on. I may not be able to answer all the questions because I'm racing against time. How come you cannot apply? I wish my VC would see this question, or my dean. It's a bone of contention. The department is currently making efforts to push this through. It's been a long battle at the management level, and we are trying our possible best to make that happen. But it may take time. There are procedures and bureaucracies that surround some of these processes. We are not on our own. Your recruitment is handled by different departments. The admissions, academic affairs, we have our requirements. They will send us the list. There are processes that has to be followed. So if the school says this, there's a limit to what we can say or do, but we will keep on pushing. And if it falls through, it may not happen in your time, but maybe your junior colleagues who may come some years to come may be beneficiaries of this once it comes to play. I mean, it plays out as admission straight into computer science. So bear with me on that one. Okay, you've gone through the handbook. That's good. Academic City University College. I offer IT. Sir, you are doing a great job. Wow, somebody from a different university is here with us. Thanks. I'm happy to hear this. That is quite encouraging. Thanks so much. My regards to your counterparts. I know quite a number of faculty there, though. Yes, the faculty, the school has great plans for you. Try and collaborate with your counterparts. I set standards for my students, to be globally competitive. So, I mean, if you can, compete in that direction, you are going to be in a better position after graduation. So, for Livy Joshua, best wishes to you out there as well. How many more questions do I have? Have I answered everybody's question? I'm not seeing some questions, or they've gone hiding. Please say a little intro about the IT. Maybe I'll relegate this question to another day. I can assure you I'll spend time and review all the questions that have come through that I've not responded to, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Hello, sir. Sorry to chip in this one out here. Concerning project work, can we include any colorful formatting? Of course. Why not? Be my guest. Impress me. Come on. I mean, the deserving student will get what he merits. So, be my guest. I want you to bring your best ideas out there, but please don't overdo it. It has to be standard. Okay, don't overdo it. I've not limited you to any colorful thing. If you can include images with colors, why can't you also make your work colorful? But if you overdo it and it's not pleasing and formal, you may have issues. But that's just it. That's my advice. So, I mean, it's good you chipped it in. Don't worry. Sir, can we combine majors? Computer science, I think I've answered this question. That may be possible depending on performance in the DCIT programs. In your view, say, how do you prioritize between studying your courses and learning IT skills outside your curriculum? May I know which program this guy is studying? Because both are very time intensive. Thompson Ajete, I don't know what program you are studying, but it depends. Studying your courses and learning IT. If you are an IT student and you are studying your courses and you need to improve on your skill sets, it's seamless. I know a student who spent the first 1 month and some few weeks before lectures were very active, trying to learn some applications, some concepts in Python, and he was so aggressive about it. He practically spent night and night on them because he wanted to improve his skill set even before the lectures began. This is somebody who is investing time. Definitely, you cannot compete with such a person if you have been spending that 1 month chilling, wasting time sleeping. By the time you hit the ground running, he is miles ahead of you. So maybe you are reading a different program and you found interest in IT and you are struggling to combine both. That's a different conversation for another day. But that is my opinion on that. There is a thin line between that. Sir, please, if one gets maybe C plus in one DCIT but get A's in this, I have no guarantees for you. The only people I can guarantee admission into computer science is those who make A and B plus minimum across all the 4 DCIT courses. If you entertain any C's or whatever, you will leave our program to determine your fate and then place you accordingly. So that would be my response to that one. So from your point of view, which degree is more advantage between mathematics degree or CS degree? Well, you see, it's the job market. If you go out there, there are so many data scientists whose primary background had been mathematics, statisticians whose primary background had been mathematics, and of course, computer scientists who are also doing data science. So it actually depends on you which one you are interested in, because all the programs are linked, especially if you want to, pursue something in mathematical science and of course machine learning and artificial intelligence. Okay, so I have just about 60 seconds more to go, guys. I wish there was more. I could give you more answers to most of your questions. I I am promising you, do me a favor, find a lot of people some way, somehow. I know they will benefit from this. I could even talk about anything from KUST or UDS, places that I have had experience in, spent not less than a year as a student in both campuses as an undergrad. But this is just the first session. I didn't know how well it would go, but I'm happy to have had all of you at the receiving end of this particular discussion. I'm going to review all the questions that have come through, then the ones I've answered, the ones I haven't answered, and I'll compile them and make sure that these are first addressed in the next section. But if I can cross that 1,000 mark, I'll be able to probably put out a poll, since now we have participants from Academic City here and other places. Of course, I'm not going to deviate from my primary responsibility to my students. Then we will be able to talk about this. Yes, the scholarships, I've not been able to speak about scholarships. There's a lot we can talk about, but allow me to leave the conversation here for now. We'll continue this. I can promise you we will have this session repeat very soon. Very soon. I know next week is revision week in University of Ghana. Maybe I will issue a poll to my students on Sakai. I still don't have an opportunity to give all my subscribers the chance to, respond to a poll yet on YouTube, because I still haven't met the 1,000 and more subscribers yet. So you need to help me get there as quickly as possible, and then we can do more of these things. I don't mind having sessions. I have very good close friends with several university faculties, and I could host them sometime for them to also answer your questions. But then again, my doors are open to all of you. My students know you have my email address, my contact on the course sites. I'm not far-fetched. Leave me a message some way, somehow. I really don't do too much of IG. Yes. So let's keep it formal for now. Maybe hopefully when we go, as time goes on, we'll be able to extend our reach to places where you can also reach out to us. I'm not on IG active on it because I don't have time. I have to do research, I have to study, I have to teach, I have to commit to my students. So I'm passionate about you out there, especially you, the undergrad. That is why I'm passionate about you. Like I said, I'll talk about it maybe in another video sometime. So please, I'll compile all your questions. The ones I don't have answers to, you have the privilege to have answers to them, because I will delve into them, reach out to the department if I need to, because if you're in SPMS, you are quite closer, and I'll find whatever I can and share them with you. Maybe I'll provide some links to some of the resources that may be relevant to you if you are a University of Ghana student. Maybe I'll reach out to the other universities. I mean, every information is now on the university's website. But that is how far and how much time we have for today. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for taking part in this. Please don't worry if I couldn't answer your question. I can assure you have your answer. Today is a Monday. If all things become equal, I could schedule another session on Friday and then address all of these and many more questions that you may have. So you keep them coming. I'll review all the questions that have come and then we'll address them. Let me thank you for your time. Let me thank you for being there, because if you were not there, I wouldn't have had an audience. And so I'm here for you. You are here. You are there also for me. I wish you the very best. Let's meet again. Just subscribe to the channel, and once I'm ready to go live, you will definitely get to know. Don't wait for me to remind you via email or something. Yes. You need this before Friday. Okay, somebody has expressed the need for an answer before Friday. So I can assure you, before Friday, we can have the meeting on Friday. Okay, let's see. Thursday, maybe. Thursday. I won't promise, but Thursday, maybe, tentatively. Stick around and we may have a second edition of this town hall meeting. Okay, I hope that will be fine. Some people's lives depend on this. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for your time. See you again very soon, and enjoy the rest of your evening. It's bye for now.